All right, everyone, so now we will do a half kneeling kettlebell overhead press. And this is a great exercise for really reinforcing and learning good overhead pressing movement. So the half kneeling pattern means that I can't cheat with the lower body, whether extending through the hip, and it makes it a bit harder for me to arch my back and help me press overhead. But in this half kneeling pattern here, if my right side is loaded, that's the side I'm pressing on, then my left leg is forward. Now my weight is shifted back a little bit onto the back knee, so if I need a pad for that knee, that's okay. Go ahead and grab one. Now let's do the overhead press. So for the overhead press, we initially want to be thinking about what our shoulder blade is doing on this loaded side. So I'm gonna do a slight forward motion of the shoulder blade. This is very slight. I'm not rounding forward like this. I'm just doing a slight press forward, and I should feel the activation of those muscles in the shoulder girdle as well as on the armpit. And then from here, I'm gonna press that arm up overhead so that at the shoulder, it's actually, my elbow is actually slightly out at a slight angle from my midline right here, and then I'll continue overhead and then press and lock out. Now notice how I'm not shrugging up the shoulder like this. My shoulder is down and then shoulder blade is forward. This means that I have good lateral rotation through the shoulder blade. This is very important for healthy overhead motion. And then I'm gonna bring it on down. So I'm gonna bring this arm down here, just like I came up. So again, it's at that slight angle. And then I'm also gliding the shoulder blade back toward the back, bring it down to the bottom. And then as I press on up again, shoulder blade slightly forward, and press on up, actively pushing that shoulder blade forward so it curves around that rib cage. And then again on the way down, we're just going back in reverse. So as I lower this arm down, forearm stays vertical, wrist stacked over elbow. I'm squeezing that shoulder blade in to the bottom position. Now, if you're having difficulty maintaining this posture, especially that vertical form going overhead, then pause at various points actually. So pause right here, make sure that everything's aligned. Wrist is vertically stacked over elbow. Pause 3/4 of the way up again, check it, and then pause right before you get to that top position. Check that right there. And it could also be easier to be using a mirror for this. And then on the way down, same thing. Pause halfway, make sure that you have that vertical alignment, and pause at the very bottom, squeezing that shoulder blade in.